All right, so I think this is going to work this time. I was speaking earlier, and I was going into detail about everything, and um, it was probably for the best that I actually started over because if you guys can, I mean, right now, if you're watching this live for the first time, then you are probably in the same situation as me. You are probably quarantined. You're probably locked in your homes right now. So honestly, it's a gift and a curse. This is a great time for you to build a business, right? This is a great time for you to be focusing on things that you know is going to help you. But also, you probably have a household of people. If you guys hear anybody screaming in the background, don't be, alarmed. Nobody's dying or anything. It's just my 10-year-old. He's playing his Xbox right now. We got his schoolwork done in the morning, so now he has his free time for the rest of the day. Which, honestly, I'm starting to fall in love. Well, actually, I've been loving the idea of this, but now I'm really loving it because I get to kind of be here. So if you do hear him yelling, don't be alarmed, don't be distracted. But this training right here is called the 30-day game plan. This is what to do when you are running a business. Now, this is something that can work for any and every business. There's no limits to what you can do once you have this game plan. You can implement this right now. You can plan to implement it, but it's definitely something that will be valuable. And this is brought to you none other than Build Your Own Brand, BYOB, Elevate Digital, presented by me, SV, Susbiliano, better known as Jamar Johnson when we're talking business. So let's get right into it. Who this training is for? This training is for current business owners, future business owners, entrepreneurs, affiliate marketers, network marketers, basically anyone looking to expose a product, service, or idea. Anybody looking to build a brand, this training is for you. Now, I will make a disclaimer. Results are not guaranteed. If you do not do the work, this will not work, right? So you do have to put in some work to get a result. But I promise you, if you take these steps, you take this training, and you take action, you will have a result. Not only will you have a result, you'll have one that you are happy with, and you will have one that not only once you're happy with, you are ready to duplicate, right? You are ready to share with others. So before we get into the 30 days, let me tell you, the power of the 30 days. I'll go ahead and click to the next slide. But the reason why 30 days are important, studies say it takes the average person 21 days to form a habit. So it's going to take you about 3 weeks of doing something for the first time before you get used to it, before your body, before your mind, before your soul is all in unison and one and agrees that, hey, you know what, this is something that is a part of our normal day. So it's going to take at least 21 days of doing something before you form a habit. Now, I know there's tons of habits we already have formed right now. One of the habits is you probably wake up, first thing you do is you grab your smartphone, which really isn't a smart decision, but you grab your smartphone and you go on social media, you look to see what's going on with your friends and families, or you open up that text message from that family member or that coworker or somebody, right? You're already at a disadvantage. You're already giving your energy away to something outside of you. But the point of this is that we form habits. We have habits. Now, I'm willing to say I have some habits that don't serve me, and I do my best to get rid of them. So this is a habit that once you get rid of the ones that don't serve you, well, once you acknowledge them, you can put in energy towards the habits that do serve you. And this is a habit that will serve you and will help to blow your business. So we put it in the 30-day game plan. Now, of course, once this works, you'll run it out for like 60 days, 90 days, and virtually until, you don't want to do it anymore. But this is a good way for you to break down your workflow so you don't spend 24 hours just sitting staring at a screen or on social media or doing other things that really don't help you. So to break down 30 days, we're going to spend the first 10 days contacting, connecting, inviting, and presenting the opportunity, the products to your people, potential clients. The second 10 days, you're going to use following up. That's it. Nothing else. And in the third 10 days, the last of the month, you're going to use to close. Now, you don't have to start this the first of the month, the second of the month, the third of the month. You can start this whenever you want. It definitely will help you to, have your calendar in front of you and see this thing. So if you do have a calendar, which I highly suggest, you can go ahead and start at the beginning of the month. I think we are, what's this, the 25th today? So you're a few days shy of the beginning of the month. So this would be something to implement to start your month off, a great way to get a head start. So we're going to break it down into 3 sections. Some of the things we're going to do daily, as you see it, the daily method of operations, DMO, this is non-negotiable. This is what you need to do every single day. So while you're forming your habit, things start to accelerate on your side. So your daily method of operations, number 1, of course, use the product. We wouldn't be here right now if you weren't trying to figure out a way to, grow your brand or your business. And if you have a brand or your business, then you probably have a product or service. So every day you need to use your product. You need to use your service. You need to be a product of the product. People don't join businesses. People don't like to be convinced. People join people they trust, they believe. And how better to build somebody's trust than to be an example, right? To be a product of the product, showing them the results that they could potentially get for themselves. So whatever your product or service is, you need to use it every day. If it's a liquid multivitamin, drink it. If it's a digital platform, build something on it, right? Or build something for somebody. But you need to use the product every single day. Then after you use the product, you need to share the product. And you don't have to, I'll use a liquid multivitamin. It's a product I know a bunch of people on our team are promoting right now, multivitamins and the CBD tea, but also we have a digital platform. So use your product every single day. Go online, build something. If you're taking a multivitamin, record yourself. Film a video of you taking that multivitamin, right? If you're building a website, record the website. Or if it's a finished product, right, a service after you had to clean something. Let's say you're a cleaning company. Take a picture of you cleaning, or, the result of the finished clean, the result of the finished website, right? So after you use your product, you're going to share it with everybody. You're going to say, hey, look what I just built, or hey, lost an extra pound today, or feeling great now that I have CBD in my body. Whatever your product or service is, you want to share that every single day. Now, I know some people are like, well, what do you need? Isn't that too much every day? Too much? No. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. If you guys aren't under a rock, then you know about television, you know about advertising, you know that commercials play all day long. They break from your favorite movie, your favorite TV show, to show you commercials, to share their products. So companies are sharing products every single day. So you have to be a product of the product. You have to be your brand, and you have to share your brand. So every day you're using the product, you're sharing the product. And if you have an opportunity to where others can share your product and make money, you want to share the opportunity with them too, for them to come on board. And then the most important, which I should have had at number 1, but I put it down there at number 4, personal development. The reason why personal development is so important is because, guys, if you aren't growing, you're dying. I don't care what anybody says. Every day you need to grow. The same way the trees grow upright, you need to be growing. You need to be growing mentally, physically, and spiritually. So personally developing will not only help you, but it's definitely going to help your business. So daily method of operations is non-negotiable. These are 4 things you need to be doing every single day: using the product, sharing the opportunity, and personally developing. So write down these daily methods of operations. You can screenshot this. I think I'll make sure there's a way that you guys can get access to this training, so you'll have it right in front of you. But this should be written somewhere, written everywhere. Put it on your mirror in your bathroom. Put it on your favorite notebook, right? So you know that you are completing these steps. Because one of the issues you have when you build your brand is you don't really know your results. You can't see your results while you're going through it, right? While you're growing through it. You don't really see it. All you can really see is, the results. So in the beginning, you don't have any results. Taking daily action and having a daily method of operations is what's going to get you into the movement, planting the seed so that your results can start to form, if that makes sense. So I just broke down the 30 days. You have your daily method of operations, things we're doing every single day. So let's go into the first 10 days and see what your first 10 days should look like. The first 10 days, it's all about planting seeds. This is where you're going to decide if you're going to be a full-time, which is about 16 hours a day, or part-time, 8 hours a day. Now, I know there's some people that you hear about a 1 hour workday or 2 hour workday. This isn't that training. This is for somebody who was all in, ready to get some results, and willing to do whatever it takes for them to get that result. So you have to make a decision. You have to decide up front, am I going full-time or am I going part-time, right? After you decide if you're going to be full-time or part-time, you need to plan out your time. Plan out your time. When will you take lunch breaks, right? When will you take breaks to eat? When will you, if you can, take bathroom breaks, right? Plan out your time. Plan out the days, the times when you don't want to do anything. Now, a good resource I didn't get to add on here is a book that you might want to check out, take a look at. It's called The One Thing. It's called The One Thing. I'm not sure who the author is, but there's a book called The One Thing. And what this does is this actually helps you to break down the one thing that you could do right now that gets you the most results for everything else. So check out the book, The One Thing. I will type at the end of this if I can remember, but The One Thing helps you to plan out that one thing that you know you can do right now that can save time or take care of everything else for you. So you have to plan, right? You have to see where you want to go before you just jump in. Don't just jump in and try to do anything and everything, because you'll be doing anything and everything with no results. So plan out your time, do whatever it takes. And more importantly, expose. If you're using your product and you're sharing your product, you are already 10 steps ahead of the rest of the world who has an idea or product and hasn't said anything, right? So expose. Share value. If you have drive time, like on your way to work or on your way from work, or your way to pick the kids up or practice, or on your way from extracurricular activities, right? Anytime you have some downtime, drive time, share value. Anytime you have some break, if you're about to break for lunch, or even if you want to do something like we call it a power hour, where you schedule time where you're going to do nothing but get on the phones with people, right? So share value during your break time or your lunch time. Share value in the evenings. If you know that you have your morning to go to your 9 to 5, which is, how you make your living, make sure you're planning time for your legacy. And this is what we're talking about right now, your legacy. So share value in the evenings if you work in the morning, or sharing in the morning if you work in the evenings. Share value on the weekends if you work a 9 to 5 and you don't have any time after work. Share value whenever you can, right? That's what planning your time is going to do. It's going to allow you time to see where you can share value. And then after you figure out the times when you want to share it, figure out the places you want to share value online, social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. There's tons of them popping up all over all the time. Really, there's a meet up. There's Eventbrite. I can go on and on about the power of the online world. Share it on Skype, Zoom, webinars, anything that can reach somebody else. That's where you want to share it. And then if you're offline, you want to share it on phone calls, get on conference calls, do meetups, one-on-ones with somebody, a 2-on-1 if you have somebody who is experienced in your field, who has more information than you that can help you, conference calls, right? So there's no limitations to this, and there may be some things that I didn't even put on this list that you're thinking of right now. The point is, the first 10 days, you want to plant seeds. You want to put the information in front of people. You want to just leave them with the knowledge, the takeaway that you have something big, you have something important for them, right? Now, if you heard the first thing I said earlier about the exposure, it takes the average person 5 to 7 exposures before they buy into something new. So let me go into a little bit of detail about that. Let's say you see, I'll use the iPhone. You saw the iPhone for the first time. You didn't even know it was called an iPhone. You walked into the store, you saw it. Now, the average person isn't going to buy the first time they see something. Why? Because they want to do research. They want to feel good about it. They want to feel like they made a great decision. So most people go online. They check reviews, or they look at family members to see if they have that same iPhone, right? They play around with their family member's iPhone and say, hey, I kind of like this thing. I'm getting the hang of it. Let me get this for myself, right? Or they see it online and then they sign up and then they're starting to get emailers. But what I'm saying here is, very rarely will you show somebody your product or service for the first time, them never seeing it and knowing it exists, and they will buy. That very, very rarely happens. I don't want to say never, because it does happen. And we would love for that to happen, but it doesn't happen frequently enough. So what does happen is people do their due diligence. People want to do research. People want to take time to figure this out if this is for them. So your job is to plant the seeds. The first 10 days, you are not looking to get them to buy what? Here's my favorite thing. Don't have any expectations, right? Had zero expectations. Just do the work with zero expectations. So for your first 10 days, you're just planting seed. You're just sharing information. You're just being yourself. You're going out there letting them know what you're involved in, what you're doing, and that's all. You're not looking to get anything in return, and you're using your time that you've allotted to do this. So first 10 days is very easy. It's all about exposure. And as you do this, you'll start to get the hang of ways that expose people the best for you. Are you getting comments? Are people, responding? Or are people giving you some feedback? And that's how you'll use to pretty much gauge what you need to do the next day. But for the first 10 days, nothing but plant seeds. The second 10 days, this is when you check on the seeds, right? And I like using seeds hypothetically because this is really the process. You plant a seed, you water it, and then the seed grows. You don't know if it's going to be, you don't know you got what's the word I'm looking for? You don't know you got a thorn or a rose bush or anything, a weed until it grows. When it's first a seed, all you have is high hopes of what it can be. Once it grows, then, you get the results. So first 10 days, you're planting seeds with no expectations. Second 10 days, you're checking on the seeds with no expectations. And what do I mean by checking on your seeds? I mean following up with who you reached out to the first 10 days if they did not already take action. That means get them on a 3-way call. Get them on a 3-way chat if you're using Facebook, or Instagram for validation. Anybody who knows what you're involved in or anybody who's already on board with what you're involved in is a great person. Now, they don't have to be the number one income earner or the number one person to use that product or service. It just needs to be somebody that can validate what you're using, what you're doing is real. So anybody can be a third-party validation. Send them a video, send them a webinar or something that exposes the product or opportunity. Now, it doesn't have to be a 30, 40, 1 hour. Now, I know sometimes people like to send more information, but I'll be honest, less is more. Very rarely will you get somebody to a new opportunity, something they don't know they need yet, and they will sit for a whole hour excited. You'll probably lose them after 10 minutes. So you don't want to send them something too long. You want to send them something that, again, can verify or not verify, can reiterate what you did the first 10 days, something else that can pique their interest. So send them a presentation video. Send them a webinar that you did in the past or that one of your team members did, right? Anything that exposed the opportunity. Another thing to do with your follow-up is to answer all questions and objections. Things that in the first 10 days, right? So say you had a member who said, I don't know about this. I think I need to do a little bit more research. This is the time to follow up and, hey, did you have any questions? I would love to answer them, right? A line that I love to use is when I ask somebody, okay, did you have any questions that I can answer for you? And they'll say, not really. I'll say, okay, so on a scale from 1 to 10, how ready are you right now to take advantage of this opportunity? And then sometimes they'll say, oh, I'm at like a 7 or I'm like an 8. And once they give you a number, so you say, okay, if I can answer all of your questions and pretty much, make you feel comfortable, will that then put you at a 10? And they'll say, oh, yeah, because here's the truth. If somebody is telling you they're not confident, right, they still have questions, and then you ask them, if I answer all your questions, will you then be ready? They have to answer you, right? So you're not really being pushy. You're just using, their knowledge against them. So you're saying, all right, so you're about a 6 or 7 right now. If I can answer all your questions and get you to a 10, would you be ready now, right? So this is the time where you beat down all objections. You beat down all questions. And a good video to send them is a testimonial, right? Send them, if by now you should know who you are talking to. You should know what they're looking for. Honestly, you shouldn't even be reaching out to them if you don't believe they need your product or service. So at this point, you should know what they're looking for. Share information, share a result that can pique their interest. But more importantly, make sure you get them comfortable, because people join people they trust. People do not join businesses. So answer all the questions, answer objections. Most importantly, track all the follow-ups and schedule a time to follow back up with those who do not take action. Now, if you remember me saying previously, it takes the average person 5 to 7 exposures before they buy into an idea. So if this is your second time or your first time following up, you may need to follow up 3 or 4 times. So the best thing about that is, right, if you are somebody that's really about your business and you are serious about your business, this is light work for you, because this puts all the pressure back on your potential client, back on your potential customer. This is saying, hey, okay, so you're not ready yet. You'll be ready next week. Okay, cool. What time next week will you be ready? So I'll go ahead and schedule it, and I'll make sure I'll follow up with you. So don't give you a time. Oh, yeah, I get paid next Friday at 3 p.m. I'll just leave you guys, I'll give you guys a little heads up. If you wait till 3 p.m. on Friday and they tell you to get paid, you're probably too late, because most people have direct deposit. They're getting paid midnight on Thursday, or they're getting paid as soon as they walk in. By midday, noon, that money is allotted for. They're already spending that money that they said they were going to spend with you. So make sure you have a follow-up system. Ask when they want to get started, right? Ask when they are ready for your product or your opportunity. Write that time down. Schedule it in your phone, on a notebook, or if you have somebody else doing your follow-ups for you, write that down so you can then follow back up with those people. And the process is the same, rinse and repeat, guys. For 10 days, you're doing nothing but following up. You're doing nothing but extra exposure, sharing, getting on 3-way calls. A term we like to use is PS3, peak interest, share information, and then the 3-way validation. So your first 10 days, you pique their interest. The second 10 days, you're sharing information and, following up with third-party validation. So there are other ways to follow up. These are the most prominent ways. These are the easiest ways to reach out to people. So following up is all you want to do from day 10 to 20. And then the third part, the last part of your 30 days, is harvest the seeds. It's time to get the seeds that are growing. Pick your plants, right? Close all the leads that have not taken action yet. So if somebody you exposed the first 10 days did not come on board, did not buy your product, you followed up with them on the second 10 days, they did not buy, they did not get your product, this is where you want to close the leads. And this is really where it usually happens, right? It happens a few days or a few weeks after they saw what you needed them to see, after they had time to think, after they had time to check the internet and, do their due diligence. This is usually the time when people are ready to buy. Day 21 to day 30. And day 21 is important because if you are doing your work, you have formed a habit. So when they are ready, they see your habit and they are more trustworthy. They're more likely to join you. So close all your leads that have not taken action yet. If you must, repeat the process from the second 10 days. Follow up the same way you were following up with them and you were asking questions and answering questions and objections. You need to do that on the third part of your 10 days. Another thing you can do is tell stories that will interest potential customers or clients. An example is stories about the product or opportunity and what it's done for others. Testimonials. I'm sure you already have results, or you've seen results, right? Or somebody has results with the product or service that you're sharing. This is the time where you want to tell the story. Stories sell, right? You don't do the selling. Stories do the selling. People want to see things they can assimilate with. They can say, hey, that could be me. Or, hey, I have the same issue. I could get the same result as that person, right? So stories help to pique interest and actually helps to expose. So make sure you're using stories when you're harvesting these seeds. And again, answer all questions and objections. Hey, okay, do you have any more questions? Okay, are you ready to get started? Not yet. Okay. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how serious, how ready are you right now? I'm about an 8. Okay, that's cool. Well, let me ask you this. If I can answer all your questions and, make you feel better, will that then get you to a 10? And they're going to say, yeah, that went. Or they'll say, no, well, actually, I need this. So they'll tell you what the rebuttal is. And you say, okay, well, I'll answer all of your questions and let's get you to the 10. Then you answer all of their questions. Close the lead and get them to the onboarding process. Now, each person's onboarding process will be different, depends on your product or service. You may not even have an onboarding process. It may just be you close that sale, they get delivered the physical or digital product. Or if you are trying to get opportunity after you close them, this is where you send them the welcome letters. You get them all of the links, anything they need so they can jumpstart and take advantage of the opportunity you're offering. So, guys, it's a very simple formula. It doesn't need to be complicated. The reason why I like this is because we spend a lot of our days doing nothing, doing things that don't really help our business to grow. This is an easy way for you to take advantage or take full control of your business and be in the driver's seat. So we went over the 30-day game plan, and I just wanted to touch on something else because this 30-day game plan works for nearly every type of product or service. Now, if you're choosing to do this organically, which means you are getting on social media, you're getting out there in the world, you're doing everything, on your own, you're sending messages, you're sending emails and things like that. It's definitely a short plan for you to use, but this also works if you are using paid advertising. In other words, if you're spending money online. So while there's no one right way to get a result, having options and exploring them all simultaneously is what will increase the results and decrease time and effort in the end. So in other words, this training right here, while it's one way to get a result, it's not the only way. I'm sure there's other trainings you've seen in the past. There's other people with great results that are sharing their way to get the results. So I'm not saying this is the only way to get a result. What I am saying is this is a way you definitely want to add on to if you already have something working, right? And then once you have this working for you, this is going to decrease the time and effort that you have to put in to make sure it's working again. You get it working one time, you just duplicate the process. So if you plan to plant seeds, expose your product or service the organic way, this is a great game plan to give you structure and a systematic flow to the madness. This is a great way to avoid paralysis of analysis and ensure that you are taking income producing activity. Now, let me break down what paralysis of analysis. Paralysis of analysis is you have all of these ideas, you have all of this work you know needs to be done, things you know you're supposed to be doing, and all of that's up there, but yet you do nothing. You're stuck, right? You don't know which way to go because there's so many ways you're supposed to be going. This is a great way to avoid that. And this is a great way to get you focusing on IPA, income producing activity. And IPA is really your only focus if you're a business owner. You don't want to be spending your days doing things that don't help to produce income for your brand or your business. You don't want to be doing things that virtually do the opposite of what you're trying to do. So if you're looking to grow organically, this is a great way. This 30-day game plan is great for you. However, there is another way, paid advertising. So I have my hand raised because I do both. I'm a hybrid type of business owner. I want to do everything that could produce a result. And I'm sure you probably do too. So with paid advertising, here you let Facebook, Google, YouTube, wherever you're running the ads, you let that do all the work for you by exposing your product or service to the people. Now, if you take this route, you may use the full 30 days to do what organically would be done the first 10 days. So let me break that down. So instead of, for organic, your first 10 days, you're just planting the seeds. You're just sharing. If you're running advertising online, your ads are running 24/7, 365 for you. So you don't have to do much sharing. Now, I do suggest you do share organically, but if you don't want to promote on your profile page, you create a fan page and you start to run ads. These paid ads are planting seeds for you. So actually, you could spend the rest of your time focusing on following up and closing. So if you're using the paid ad approach, you let your first 10 days actually be 30 days. You let your ads run, given it's a good ad. If it's a bad ad, then you'll want to stop it and create a new ad. But if you have a good ad that's working and that is exposing people the way you want, this gives you time, frees up your time for you to just focus it on follow up and close it. So 2 different ways to do it. You could do it organically if you don't want to spend money in advertising, which not everybody wants to spend money right out the gate. Or you can spend money, right? And then that gives you more time to focus on the second 10 day and third 10 days. So this approach right here still is the same as the organic way. It just limits you having to do all of the sharing. And I honestly, in my beginning experiences online, I was doing a lot of the organic. I was doing a lot of the reaching out to each and everybody I could. And, I'm not going to say that the result was what I was looking for. When you first get started, you really just want to sell. I want to sell right now. And I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really work like that. You have to pique people's interest. You have to build trust. So the organic way, while it takes time, let me say the disclaimer again, results are not guaranteed. This requires work for it to work. But if you are completing your daily method of operations, if you're using the product, if you're sharing the product, if you're sharing the opportunity, and if you're personally developed, if you're growing daily, you will get results. You will get results. Now, will you wake up and have $1 million tomorrow? Possibly. I don't even want to plant that seed or that limitation. That is not possible. You don't know what's possible. But what you do know is how you feel after the work is done. So let's say you do 30 days of nothing. You know what to expect on day 31. You know what to expect. You can't even be mad at what you have because you know what you did. But if you take 30 days and you take action every single day, you have a daily method of operations, right? If you take actions, you have something to gauge or measure your results. You have something to look at on 31 and say, hey, this is why I have all of these customers, or this is why I have all of these leads. This is why I have a bunch of people excited about what I'm talking about, because you took these steps. So I don't care what you do. All I know is this. The more you do, the more energy you put into it, the more you'll get out. Choose whichever approach you want. Choose whichever game plan you want. Build your game plan however it fits best for you. But you have to have a plan. And with that being said, that's the end of our 30-day game plan, man. This is really, kind of self-explanatory. It's just for those who are stuck, those who are home right now, just got started online. And they're like, all right, look, I want to promote this thing. I want to expose people. I just don't know what to do. Or, you know what? I'm not that disciplined. I sit in front of a computer and I start to do 20, 30 different things. I get carried away at something else, or I'm looking on social media. So this is a great 30-day game plan for you to implement right now in your business to help get your results. Now, some way to gauge your results at the end of the 30 days, you want to check how many people did you contact? How many people did you reach out to? How many people replied? How many of those replies bought something? How well put together was your message? How many times did you share your product? So you can create your own goals, but you want to ask yourself questions at the end for you to answer, because once you answer these questions, the answers will help you to see what you need to do next. So create the plan, of course, have a goal for your plan in the end, and you should be good. But if for chances you aren't good, you're still struggling after you try this for 30 days, after you have your DMO, after you formed your habit, right? If you form this habit and you still aren't getting results, I highly suggest you join our BYOB team to get all of the tools, training, tips, and most importantly, the team, access to the team you need to help build your own brand. And if you still need help, actually, you can join today for $1. It's $1 only. There's a link below, bit.ly/T, lowercase he, the number 1, capital D, lowercase OLLAR, capital S, lowercase OLUTION. So it's bit.ly/ the $1 solution. So I'm really excited because the platform that we use, the tools that we use, the training, everything we're using to grow our businesses right now, actually giving it away for $1. So you become a member, you'll get access to our private group, you'll get access to our Facebook group. There you'll learn how to really blow up anything. Now, because I say anything because we have tons of entrepreneurs, tons of business owners that are in different niches and industries, and they're having a lot of success. So here you'll get access to people that are actually doing what you're trying to do. You'll get all of the tools you need to do all of this automation for you. So you don't have to spend a lot of your time following up with each and everybody. You may be somebody that wants to use a chatbot that messages for you, right? Or email follow-up. So when you're doing your follow-up system, you're not physically reaching out to each and every person by yourself independently. you have a system that will do all of that for you. So if you're somebody that still needs help, you're ready to launch your 30-day game plan, you're ready to learn how you can automate your business so you can spend less time working in it and more time living your life, definitely want to check out the link below. And once you do, if you have any questions, you can send a message, reach out to me. The moment you click that link, it's going to show you a video which explains the platform that we use, explains our membership and our team. But once you're on board for $1, you can just press send message and it will send me a direct message. If you need to reach out to me, you should already have my information by now. But if not, you can find me Instagram, Facebook. I don't really use Twitter like that, but my name is Seuss Villano, better known as Jamar Johnson when we're talking business. And this wraps up the training video. So I hope this was informative for somebody. Well, I don't even hope. I know this will be informative. This is what we are doing right now. This is how we are running our businesses, being our own bosses right now, and really making sure we're taking action on a daily basis. So once again, I hope this was informative for somebody. I didn't really record this video to be like an open source question and answer. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or reach out to whoever got you to this video, because chances are they're already implementing this in their business and they're getting results. Now I see we have Makita on there, we have Hayward on, there's a few people on. So if you guys want to take this time to ask any questions or say or add anything, Makita, I know Makita is one of our VIP elite builder, so she knows exactly what I'm talking about. She knows it works. She knows about the platform and the team. So if you guys have anything you want to add, you feel free to add it right now. But if not, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this training. I'll make sure I'll save it. It'll be recorded. I'll drop the link and you guys can get access to it. So once again, 30-day game plan training. Make sure you take advantage. If you still need help, or if you haven't built a brand yet, you don't even have a business, you can join for $1 right now. We'll help you get started. We'll help you get set up. We'll show you exactly what to do to build your sites, your apps, funnels, whatever you need to expose people. We'll help get you there, and then you can run to the money. So, Makia, anybody on here, does anybody have anything they would like to add?
Nope, looks like you covered it all.
Okay, awesome. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude our 30-day game plan training. It's time for you to take action. I'll see you at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. Peace. I got some.